I think I'm in the show. I think I'm live. I'm not sure. Uh, Looks like we're having a little technical difficulties today, but good morning, and grand rising to you, and also you. We were supposed to have this beautiful video playing of an event that's happening next Saturday, our vision board event. And it's actually an amazing summit. I'm so excited for this summit, guys. Let me tell you, it's all about changing your life, changing your mindset. If this is your first time with me, welcome, good morning, hello. I am Stars Tina. I am your life and health coach, that person that's going to take you from good to great to amazing. And as you can see, this beautiful shirt I have on, No More Traumedy for Kids. This is a platform that I am so 10 toes down grounded in. It just makes me wild. It got me out of bed this morning, even though I'm feeling, you can hear it in my voice, right? Feeling a little not so well under the weather. But this is going to be a series that we're going to be kicking off in January. But I said, you know what? Let's just start the end of the year strong. Traumedy, my friends, is when the energies of a trauma and a tragedy collide. Now, when this happens, life changing experiences occur. It happens to everyone. But the focus that's going to be happening on these Wednesday mornings at 7:30 a.m. is all about the children. I had the honor of creating a program and a book for children. The book is called Traumedy No More for Kids. And the purpose of this program is to teach children how to tap into those uncomfortable feelings, like anxiety, stress, and depression. Now, a lot of children go through these things, but they kind of get ignored, right? People just, their parents are like, oh, just go to school, teachers, just do your work, or you get detention or whatever, right? But children have feelings. And in this program, we teach the children how to tap into their emotions. Once we do that, then we give them strategies, we give them tools, we give them skills to be able to push through those uncomfortable feelings so that they can thrive in life and be the best that they can be. Really quick, I want you to just imagine you're an adult if you're watching this, and if you're a child, I want you to imagine that you had all the a toolbox, right? And in this toolbox, you knew you could go inside of it if you were mad, if you were angry, if you were sad. Like someone got you mad at school and you're like, "Argh." So you can just go into that toolbox and grab something and fix yourself. That'd be pretty cool, right? It's kind of like when the door is broken at home and you need to tighten up the screw, or if I don't know, just think about something. We have a toolbox in life to fix different things. When your car is broken, you take your car to the shop to fix it. Well, when your mind and when your heart is not right, you go to a therapist. So that's why I decided to partner with this amazing woman. Her name is Allison, and she is a play therapist. There's all types of therapists out there, and some people don't believe in therapy. They think it's crazy, they think it's silly. But I think everybody needs therapy, and because it's just someone to talk to, right? And at the end of the day, the therapist is there to listen to you, right? Sometimes all you need is for someone to listen. And you might be saying, well, Tina, I can't afford a therapist. You know how much that is, blah, 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 blah. I get it. This is what you can do. Get a journal, get a book, get some paper, and just write it out. Write out what's going on in your head. So, as I mentioned, next Saturday, December 22nd, I am having an Elevate Your Business Vision Board event. And if you see that link on the bottom, you can just click that link. And I have 7 amazing speakers coming through. And I have created a signature program. And to be honest with you guys, I didn't even know it. I didn't know it until I woke up this morning and I was like, ding, 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 ding. It's like God just started downloading all of these things into my head. And I realized I have been doing vision boards for over 11 years. I'm going to get the exact number later today. But over 11 years, I have been doing vision boards. And you may have heard me speak a few days since Thanksgiving, that the woman who introduced me to vision boards, she passed away. Well, I found out the other day she did not pass away, guys. Apparently there were 2 girls with the same name in my high school. And my girlfriend, when she told me this person passed away, I was devastated. I was like, oh my gosh. And she's like, yeah, it's all over Facebook. I don't go on Facebook that much. So I never actually looked at the post. So I saw this girl on Instagram doing a live, and I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. You're supposed to be. So I reached out to my girlfriend, and apparently it was the wrong person. blessings and prayers to the young lady that did pass away. I didn't know her, but the person who introduced me to vision boards, she did not. But I'm actually trying to reach out to her. But anyway, today my signature program, which is going to be released at this vision board event that I've been creating over these years, is it has 7 different layers. And the first layer I like to share. Oh, she knows me so well. The first layer is spirituality slash faith, because no matter what you do in life, you have to have a strong foundation. The second one that I like to go over is business, right? Your business. And you don't have to own your own business. Your business is who you are and what you do. Whether you're a mother, a teacher, a student, a doctor, whatever, that is your business. The third pillar that I like to talk about in this program is community. And I realized when I moved here to Florida, I needed community, right? I have my gym community, I have my yoga community, I have my church community. You have to get connected with people in your area to change the world, right? The next area in this program is your money, right? You have to make sure that what you need is taken care of. Now, some people may need thousands, some people may need hundreds. For me, the money just flows, right? I really don't think about it too much. And I've realized when I do think about, oh my God, I need money, it doesn't come. So I just release and let God take care of it. The next topic that's in my 7 layers and pillars of the program is relationships. Relationships are so important. And I'm not talking about a husband, a wife, a boyfriend, a girlfriend. Those are great as well. But I'm talking about friendships, your family ships, your work ships. Just and the most important one, guys, is a relationship with yourself. If you don't have a great relationship with yourself, there's no way you can have great relationships with other people. I'm not sure if I'm at 7. If another topic pops up, it's going to pop up. If not, um, triumph and hope, health and wellness. Thank you. Health and wellness. That's the last topic I'm thinking, and that's the one I'm going to be specializing in the program. And this morning, as I was thinking about health and wellness, a lot of people maybe think about they want to have the best body, they want their aesthetic to be nice, their arms to be super strong, their legs to be strong. But for me, when I think of health and wellness, I think of my mental state. I think of how I feel. I think of how I'm able to move, right? Like, can you get up the stairs? Can you pick that paper up off the floor? Are you able to think thoroughly, right? And at the event, my speech, my segment that I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to be honing in on how to stay healthy after going through a traumedy. As I mentioned, a traumedy is when the energies of a trauma and a tragedy collide. When this happens, life changing experiences occur. A lot of people get paralyzed. So, in my speech, I'm going to be teaching you how to push through a traumedy with health and wellness. With that being said, let's jump right into the topic. Renee, if you can pull my girl Allison up. Woo, woo. This is our play therapist. Hey, girl. Hey, how you doing? How you feeling?
Hello, I'm good. Good morning. How are
Good
you?
morning. I am amazing. Thank you so much for saying yes. Because when you're saying yes to me, you're not just saying yes to me, girlfriend. You're saying yes to thousands, 10 thousands of people, because I see this growing so big and so many people need what you do. Can you just share with us, please, a little bit about yourself, how you got started, why you got started, how you did it, all that great stuff?
Yeah, sure. So I started off getting my master's degree in social work. And then after I graduated there, I got my license. So I was a licensed social worker. I then worked in the field to earn the clinical hours to become a licensed clinical social worker. And then as I was finishing that, I decided that I was going to start to get my play therapy certification. So that entails like more trainings, um, supervision under a registered play therapist supervisor, and then obviously doing the hours with kids. So I worked through that. And as of August this year, I became a registered play therapist, and now that is what I do.
Yay! Congratulations. I know you are super excited. Now, I, excuse me, I always like to know people's stories, right? Like why they got started, how they got started. Can you share with us why you decided to do this? And yeah, why? Mm.
Of course. So I was diagnosed with anxiety in first grade, and I remember feeling like
Okay, I'm
I
gonna pause you. I'm gonna pause you right there because For those that don't know, what is anxiety? How do you know what it is? And I say this because years ago, I was like, that's just something they make up. They don't want to be around people. What is anxiety?
I I guess the general way of explaining it is like the way that I explain it to parents and is like and adults and kids that I see is like imagine that we live life with these life jackets on and our life jackets are like, okay, when you get in water, so if you fall in like the ocean, you fall in the lake, the life jacket is gonna inflate and it's gonna keep you afloat. When you have anxiety, your life jacket is kind of like, oh, you're walking to the car, we think there's water, we think there's danger, inflate. And you're like, life jacket, why are you inflating? Like, I'm not in water. I'm walking in my car or like I'm going to school. Like, what's going on? And it's essentially like our body goes into this fight or flight response when it doesn't need to. And for a kid, it could be really scary because for me, it was like I didn't want to go to school. We went to like Disney on Ice and I was crying. I was like, I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna be sick. My uncle tried to take us to see like The Incredibles or something, the SpongeBob movie in movie theaters, and I was crying. And I was like, I just want to go home. I don't even want to be here.
Wow.
So
So what
we
I'm hearing you say, Allison, because you see kids doing this, and a lot of parents think, oh, they just ignore it, right? So if you're just tapping and we're talking about anxiety right now for children, I guess in first grade, continue more, some symptoms that parents may see
so
in
it
their
can be
kids.
like crying. It can be refusal to want to do things. Their heart is beating fast. They could have an upset stomach or, have to go to the bathroom, have to be sick. It could be irritability. It could be, being avoided in school, biting their nails, difficulty sleeping. It could be so many things.
This sounds like everybody, girl. I remember having some of those things. My daughter, would you say that everybody has a little bit of mild anxiety?
I'd say so. I think it's the difference is right. Clinical anxiety is like five or more of those things, and it happens frequently.
Sorry, you just know when you're sick, it
Okay.
just comes up. I just gotta let it go. Forgive me. All right, go back to your story. First grade, they said you had anxiety.
Yeah, and I remember feeling as a kid like this is terrible, this is horrible. And I saw a therapist. I don't really remember much of the experience, but I was always like, I don't know, I'm having a hard time. And so as I was growing up, I was like, all right, I want to help kids. And I was like, I just got to figure out like where I fall. And as I started to go through high school, I was like, all right, do I want to be a teacher? And I was like, "Ugh, that's a lot of kids all at once grading." And I was like, it feels like school all over again for me as an adult and it never ends. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. And then I met my high school social worker who changed my life. And I was like, this, this is what I want to do. I want to be a social worker. I don't know that I want to be in a school. I don't know where I want to be, but she changed my life. She is the reason that I survived through high school and graduated, that I was like, this is what I'm going to do. If she changed my life the way that she did, I want to be her when I grow up. And I was like, that's the direction I'm taking. I'll figure out where I go from there, but I was like, I'm going to get my master's in social work and I'll figure it out.
I love that. I love that. If you're just tuning in, this is Allison. We're talking about anxiety. We're talking about comedy no more for kids. I met Allison at an event that I did in Rahway, New Jersey. We had a summer event. It was a Traumedy no more back to school wellness event, and she was one of the vendors there. And she decided to jump on my team, and we together to support children, right? We went to Jersey City to a school, and she had the opportunity to share her story, to share what she does. And we decided that we need to give back a little bit more, right? So every Wednesday at 7:30, our goal is to come through and give you some tips, some strategies to help your child or children to push through traumedy, right? So you mentioned earlier, I was saying how we're doing this vision board event next Saturday, and you were saying you
Mhm.
do something similar with the children. Can you share with us what that is, please?
Yeah, so from like the clinical side is when you work with someone, you kind of work with them to develop what's called the treatment plan, and it's for insurance too, but it's also for people. So we kind of know like what are we working towards, what are we doing? So with kids and things, less so with like younger kids, like my littles, I kind of will do a little bit of that, but I meet with the parents. First with any kid that I work with. So with them, I'll kind of ask them, like, what are things that you want for your child? What are things that you are hoping for to see with your child? And then with my kids, obviously ones that are a little bit older, is I'll kind of ask them like, what do you want out of this? If they're old enough to understand. So like 10, 12, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, my teens, some of my preteens, I'll be like, what do you want out of therapy? Because I met with mom and dad and they've told me what they want for you, but I want to know, what do you want? Do you want to be able to communicate better with mom and dad, communicate better with friends, do have better habits at school? Do you want to decide where you want to go to college? Because sometimes kids that I see in high school, they're kind of like, I don't know that I want to go to college, or I don't know what I want to do. Like I had seen this one teenager while she was in high school, and she had swore to me, she was like, I'm not going to college, I'm not going to graduate high school, I'm not going to do it. And I was like, do you want to though? Because I have a feeling that you want to, and I think that you can do it. And she is now in college, and she told me recently, she said, Allison, if it was not for you, I would not have graduated high school. I wouldn't have applied for college. I didn't believe in myself. I never thought that I can do it, and you believed in me, and you told me that I could do it. You sat with me every step of the way, and she was like, "Thank you." And I was like, You did it. You dreamed it. You believed it. I just helped you get there."
How does that make you feel knowing that you've changed, again, not just one person's life, but other, because the people she's going to impact? How does that make you feel?
I love it. I like what I do because I can see that in kids and teens and even adults, that I can see that you can be this person that you want to be even if you don't, and I'm here to help you get there. And that same client that I saw was on their third therapist. I was their third therapist. So when they started with me, I was like, oh man, the cards are stacked against me. We're gonna see what happens. We're just gonna try. And she's been with me for forever now, and I'm like, all right, we got it. And hearing
And it,
that, I was like, this is who I knew that you could be. You just needed to find her, and you found her.
yes. And if you're watching this and you're like, I did therapy, it doesn't work. It's not that therapy doesn't work. Perhaps you had the wrong therapist, like she said. It was that person's third therapist. I've had a few therapists. I absolutely love my therapist right now. And you don't have to stay with your therapist forever. I said to her in the beginning, I'm like, how do you know when you go? And she says, you'll know. And I said to her a couple of weeks ago, I said, I think I'm good for twice a month, you know? Now it feels like it's more of a friendship and you can't be friends with your therapist. And I
No.
feel so sad about that. I'm like, I want to be your friend. But it comes to that when you can let go. They teach you skills. And then let's just say you break away from your therapist, and then 2, 3 years later, you're like, you know what? Things aren't going right. Go back to therapy again. Have you had anyone ever that that started and stopped, or have you ever started and stopped and gone back? Just
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah, no, and I've had people start and stop. I've had people work with me for a period of time, and then kind of like once I've helped them work through what they need to work through, they were like, okay, I think we've done all we can do, and I'm so thankful. I'm going to work with another therapist to help me with X, Y, and Z, something that's not my area of expertise. And that's what therapists are. We're like shoes, you got to find the right pair, and you don't wear the same shoes forever. If you're going out, right, you want to wear like heels or like dress shoes. If you're going running, you're going to wear some sneakers. Like sometimes you're just like, all right, I'm done wearing the sneakers. I need to put on dress shoes. I need someone to help me with this, and now I move on.
Exactly. So if you're a parent and you just don't understand what's going on with your child, like, why does my child keep crying when we get ready for school? Why does my child keep doing this? You don't know, right? Especially if you're a first time parent. That's why it's good to speak to other parents who've gone through it, or speak to a therapist. Once you get that situation fixed, then you can either leave or go on to another situation, because there's always situations with children, with people, right? I don't say the word problems. Alan, you may notice there's some words I don't say, and problem is a word that I do not like, because when I hear the word problem, I think harsh, trouble, you can't figure it out. So I say situation, because when I hear situation, it's like, okay, that's a situation, how are we going to fix it, right? Next question for you, or last question, I should say. You saw the different pillars that we had: faith, faith, spirituality, community, finances, all that, those things right there. Can you share how, or if you share any of those things with your children that you work with, for their therapy plan, for their vision board, for what they're going to do?
Um, Sort of, to some level. So, what I use obviously is I do a little bit more evidence-based things. So, like something that I use with families, and you can look it up, is called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And essentially, what that is it's like a pyramid of things. And I'll work with parents too with that to say, like, okay, the bottom is like our basic needs, right? So, like food, water, shelter, do we have those things? Once we have that, it's like, hold on, I'm actually going to pull it up and look at it because I want to make sure that I get it right. Right. So the bottom is that physiological, right? So do we have food? Do we have water? Do we have shelter? The next one up, right, is safety. So once our physiological needs are met, we have that safety. So do we have that security, stability, freedom from fear? So are we feeling safe? After we've kind of met that, now we can make room for love and belonging. So do we have friendship? Do we have acceptance? Do we have like a sense of community, right? Those relationships. Once we have that, we go up to esteem, which is like respect, recognition, status, like building that belief about yourself. And then that top one is that self actualization. So it's the top one. So once we have all of those other needs, we kind of reach this self actualization, which is like now you can reach your full potential. So you've kind of been given everything you need. So I work with parents to say, right, well, are we providing those physiological needs, that food, that water, that shelter? Are we building that safety? Are we helping them to feel safe and secure? Are we giving them love and belonging? Because once parents give you those three, then with the kids, I can work, okay, well, now we can build that esteem, right? Now we can build you up because you have all of the basic things you need from the people around you. Let's build the top part.
Wow, that sounds intense, but I totally get it. And I do know of the pyramid. Have you noticed that when it comes to the children, some of their issues may be with their parents? And how do you go about sharing that with your parents? Do you say, okay, this is the issue? I mean, we don't tell people what they should do, but like, you should talk to your kid more. You should eat dinner with your kid. You should read to your kid. Like, how do you go about doing
so
that?
so right, confidentiality, and I tell parents that I'm like, listen, like I unless it is I have a concern for their safety, someone else's safety, or they're hurting themselves. I obviously, right, those are I'm a mandated reporter. I have to report those things. I'll let you know. But outside of that, I only let you know what I think is necessary. And usually with kids, again, not so well, even so much the younger ones, I'll kind of ask them. I'll be like, hey, I'm meeting with mom and dad next week, is there anything that you want me to tell them? So things that
I
they
like
think are
that.
important. And then I'll be like, okay, and then two, is there absolutely something that you absolutely don't want them to know? I'm not going to tell them things that we said or that we talked about. But is there anything that you don't want them to know? And they'll kind of tell me that. And then I'm like, cool, cool. And then I might go into a parent session. And if they're like, if it's like a little boy and he's like, I don't know, dad doesn't talk about his feelings, so I can't talk about mine. I might go into the parent session and I might be like, something that I do with parents is I work with you guys on helping to outwardly express your emotions because your kids learn from you. So I'll tell, and I do this with most parents. I'll be like, if you come home from work and you had a really rough day, it's okay to say, I'm frustrated. I had a rough day at work. If you are sad because of who won the football game, it's okay to be like, I'm upset because my favorite team lost the football game. If you're happy because you're spending time with your kids, I'm happy because I love spending time with you. Like verbalizing those feelings is so important for kids. So I do it in like a kind of like a roundabout way that I don't tell you what your kid says, but I can tell you what I can see from looking at the family unit, from meeting with your child, meeting with parents, because sometimes parents will be like, if they have anxiety, I have no idea what to do when they're crying and they don't want to go to school and they can't breathe and they're getting sick in the bathroom. I have no idea what to do. Help me. And I'm like, yeah, of course, that's what I'm here for. I'll help your kid and I help you because we're a team.
Wow, I love this. Allison, I see amazing things for you in your future. As we close, two things I want you to do. First, the download that I just got, because I can see people watching this right now and they're like, wow, I want to ask her questions. I have questions. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. But I'm thinking maybe we can, I see you doing maybe a newsletter or a blog or something where you can, you know, like a Dear Abby or a Dear Allison, right? Allison, my child won't do blah, 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 blah. And then you do that. That's just kind of like a download that I'm getting right now. Does that sound like something you may be interested in, or have you ever thought of something like that?
I have considered starting my own podcast. I've just been digging my heels in to be like, oh, I'm not sure about public speaking. but I am on social media. So I got to get back to it, but I try to post like TikToks. I'm on the TikTok for like the Gen X, millennials, or Gen Z, whatever they are. I don't know. I'm
Right.
trying to do the TikTok thing. I'm on Instagram and Facebook because I do try to keep up with that. The practice is a little busy, but I do try to keep up with, like, I'll post TikToks about like signs that your child has anxiety that you might not know about. Um, a whole bunch of different things to try to kind of
I
help
love it. I love
getting
it.
that out there.
I would love to empower you to get this podcast going because I do have a podcast. And before I did my podcast, I thought it was so hard. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Just like before I wrote my book, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. So I would like to empower you to do your, sorry, to get your podcast out there. And the second thing, if you can just share where you work, I know you're in New Jersey. If anyone wants to contact, bring their child where you are, speak with you, can you share your community where you're working?
Yeah, so I work at Cultivate Therapy in Bloomfield, New Jersey. We are a savvy out of network practice, but you can schedule a free consultation with me at our website. It's cultivatetherapyteam.com. And then you would search for me, and I can do a free consultation with you. And if you don't have out of network benefits, we have a sister in network practice that I can refer you to therapists there that I work with and know are great.
Yay. If you're just tuning in, you missed it, but you can rewind it. We were talking about vision boards. We have an event coming up next Saturday. We're going to play that promo video right after this. And Allison was sharing how children, she does a vision board as in treatment plans, right? We're going to be here every Wednesday at 7:30. We have one more for the end of the year, and then we're coming back the second week of January because we got Christmas and then we got New Year's Day. So make sure you tune in next week. Share this video
It's your
out to your
girl,
families and
Stars
friends.
Tina.
Oh, Renee's testing it out. It's okay. Yay. At least we know it'll work, right? So, Allison, I'm so excited about what we're going to bring to the world. Any closing thoughts you want to give us before we get out of here, Allison?
Talk about your feelings. I feel like that's the most that I could say is talk about your feelings, because I think that, our kids learn from us, and sometimes we get so used to kind of not verbally expressing our feelings that it's okay to say them out loud. Especially when we're talking about Traumedy for kids, that like helping them to use their voice to talk about what they're feeling.
And thank you for saying that because I was going to say that, but it jumped out of my head. The tip we want to leave you with today, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, everybody. Like she just said, share your feelings. I think children don't see their parents or adults sharing their feelings, so they don't share their feelings. It's okay to say, I'm sad. It's okay to say, I'm mad, I'm angry. And, we have to get our emoji chart up here. The movie Inside Out, watch it with your kids so you can understand, because if they're having trouble expressing how they feel, they're not going to share it with you. And then everyone's just going to be a bunch of jumbled blah, 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 stuff, right? That's our closing thought for today. We'll see you next Wednesday at 7:30. All right, Renee, play that video.
And I am here to tell you something that's going to shift your entire life. Now, if you're looking to turn your dreams into reality, then join me for my vision board experience. This isn't like your ordinary, boring vision board event. This right here is an event where you get to align with your dreams, and you're gonna get actionable steps so you can reach your goals. We're also gonna elevate your mindset and give you a roadmap to success. So if you wanna crush your goals, if you wanna build your business and elevate your mind so that you can be and do the best that you wanna do, join us Saturday, December 21st. Now let me tell you some of the speakers because I'm so excited about it. The one speaker I'm the most excited about, Ramon Ray. We love Ramon Ray. He's coming through. He is a celebrity CEO, and he's going to be talking about business.
After Ramon, we have Dr. Delatoro.
Then we got my girl, Toyin Crandall. Am I the only one who loves Toyin? She's going to be talking about money, 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 money. Money. We love Toyin. Money mindset coach, that's what she is, and one of the best speakers that I know. He's got the swag, he's got the style, he's got the charisma. It is LeVar Tyler. I am so excited. If you want this energy, if you want this excitement, join me and my friends Saturday, December 21st. Peace and a bottle of hair grease. Bye. See you then.